Hello beautiful people and welcome to the channel Life After Narc. My name's Debbie and I talk about all things to do with narcissistic, abusive and toxic relationships, as well as looking at healing from them. And today's video, will you ever forget the narcissist? I'd love to know your thoughts, especially where you are on your healing journey, and if you have found that you forget them. Pop your comments below and let's see what you have to say. Before I get into the body of the video, if you enjoy it, please click the like button. Please subscribe to the channel and share with your friends and family, anyone who you think may benefit. We really need to get the education out there around these kind of relationships, whether they are romantic relationships, friendships, or even work, family relationships. We need to be aware of toxic people so that we can put our boundaries in place and keep them there. Will you ever forget about the narcissist? I think a lot of it is relevant to time, and both time that you were with them and the time that you have been without them. If you were with them for a few weeks, it will probably be easier for you to work through that and to forget about them. If you were with them for a few years, it's probably a different situation. During the healing journey that we go through after a toxic, narcissistic, abusive relationship, we go through many stages of that healing. And the first one, of course, is grief. But before grief kicks in, if you were like me, when my narc first left me, perhaps you left them, you feel elated, powerful. You feel so happy that this energy is gone from your life. You can reclaim yourself, reclaim who you are. You can be the authentic version of yourself. Perhaps you have a party, perhaps you burn things, perhaps you cast spells like I did, and it empowers you. You feel strong. You know that this is the right way for you to go. But then the trauma bond kicks in. This addiction to what happened previously. And I'm going to put a link to a trauma bond video I did recently in the description box below, so you can have a watch of that to find out a little bit more. But basically, it is an addiction to the cycle of them loving you, them devaluing you, them discarding you, them hoovering you, them love bombing you, them devaluing you, and them discarding you. And that goes on. And it can happen many, many times during a relationship. And it creates trauma. And you are bonded to them through that trauma. So when you are thinking about them, you begin to ruminate and your mind plays through all of the things that you experienced with them, good things and bad things. But your brain has a lovely little way of pushing aside the bad things and looking at the good things. So you remember the good times that you had and you think, well, maybe we could have that again. You know, was it all that bad? I didn't deserve that, but you know, maybe I did deserve that spanking because I did this, or maybe I did deserve to be spoken to like that because I'd said this. No, guys, no, you didn't deserve anything. You deserve to be treated with love, kindness, respect, dignity, caring, empathy, sympathy. You deserve to be treated like a human being. So over the months that pass after this relationship, your thoughts of them will start to fade. You'll probably forget what they looked like. Perhaps you'll forget some of the things that they did to you. Perhaps you'll start to forget some of the nice things that happened as well. And that's probably a good thing. But your memory will start to fade and become fuzzy around the edges. The pain changes. Initially, you go through this period of grief where you forget who you were. You have no idea who you are, so you need to reinvent yourself. You're now becoming the third version of yourself. So your first version was the version of you before you met the narcissist. The second version of you was the version of you in the narcissistic relationship. And the third version of you is who you are now, who you are becoming, your true, authentic self, living the life that you deserve to live. Perhaps a year later, you think of them less. You definitely think less of them. And even further down the line, you think of them even less. And the dreams stop, the rumination stops, and you start to realize, hang on, I was conned, I was used, I was abused. I didn't deserve that. I deserve love. There's a lot that I don't remember about my first narcissistic relationship, and frankly, I'm quite glad of that. It was quite terrible. But I know that it's not something that I think about on a daily basis. In fact, the only time that I really think about my two narcissistic exes is when I am writing scripts for these videos or doing my study work for my psychology degree. It often feels like it happened to someone else, but you were somebody else at that time. So you were actually a different person. So it did happen to somebody else. You have scars. You may have physical scars, but you've definitely got emotional scars. But scars are good because they remind us of where we've been, where we've come from, and where we don't want to go back to. Will you ever completely forget them? Probably not. There will probably always be somewhere in the back of your mind. But that's okay. Because with work, with therapy, with journaling, with counseling, and beginning to live your life again, they will become less and less in your mind because they are less than you. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please click the like button. Please subscribe to the channel and share with your friends and family, anyone who you think may benefit. I hope to see you next time. Blessed be.